Welcome to KR Films Entertainment Channel. Today I am going to explain a 2023 film called 200 Pounds Beauty. This woman's name is Juvita. She worked as a call center in a service application for lonely men. Juvita wanted to do this job because it didn't require the talent for having a beautiful face and ideal body. All it took was her voice to seduce and accompany the lonely men with wild fantasies. But this was just Juvita's side job. So, to keep her privacy, Juvita changed her name to Mawar Merindu. Juvita was a kind-hearted, humble, cheerful and hardworking woman. She really enjoyed her current life, but sometimes she felt sad when her friends bullied her because of her overweight body. However, Juvita tried to ignore it. Now, she's only focused on making money for his father's medication. Every day Juvita accompanied many weird men by telephone. There was even a doctor who became her loyal client. Every night, the doctor always uses the application and listens to Juvita's voice while having wild fantasies and dirty talk. Juvita was destined to have a good voice and she also likes to sing. Therefore, Juvita did her main job at a music label company as a singer. But unfortunately, she was just a ghost singer and just sings backstage. This was because the company only needed Juvita's voice to help a famous pop singer named Eva. Eva was a talent who was being promoted as a singer. She had a beautiful face and ideal body, but she was arrogant and her voice wasn't that great, so she just lip synced on the stage. And because of that, Juvita became a ghost singer for Eva. That night, Eva was holding her first show. Juvita was there helping Eva by singing behind the scenes. But there was a small incident when Juvita sang while dancing and she was carried away by the song. As a result, her foot tripped over a cable causing her to fall. Fortunately, the incident was resolved and Juvita returned to singing until the show was over. Because of the incident, Eva was angry with Juvita because something like that could make her first show fail. When the show was over, full of emotion, Eva approached Juvita and immediately scolded her. Not only that, Eva also insulted Juvita's physique. At that time, Juvita could only apologize and explain what happened, that she tripped over a cable and it made her fall. But Eva warned Juvita not to dance anymore and asked her to just focus on singing. Not long after that, the music producer, Andre, approached Juvita and asked how she was from the incident earlier. Not only that, Andre also thanked Juvita as a form of appreciation because she had worked hard to make the show succeed. Andre thanked Juvita while hugging her and it made her big-headed. She thought that Andre liked her. A few moments later, Juvita was with her best friend, Yara, in a restaurant. Juvita always tells Yara about her life. Juvita, who had an overweight body, always eats in very large portions. It could be seen when at the restaurant, Juvita kept ordering food until the waiter got annoyed because he had to go back and forth to deliver food. At this moment, Juvita confidently told Yara that Andre seemed to like her because after the show, Andre suddenly came and immediately hugged her. Hearing this, Yara immediately denied it because there were many beautiful women who approached Andre and of course, Andre would choose one of these women. Meanwhile, with Juvita's appearance like this, Andre couldn't possibly like her. Yara also warned Juvita not to like someone too quickly because someone might take advantage of her. For a moment, Juvita was silent after hearing Yara's words. Then suddenly, she remembered her past when she was still in college. At that time, Juvita liked someone, but unfortunately, she was only used to doing his assignments. Juvita was so disappointed that she wanted to end her life by taking a large amount of sedatives. But luckily Juvita didn't die, she just fell asleep on the floor for a long time. But the people around her thought that she had died. Juvita was very sad when she remembered this, but she had to stay strong to take care of her father who was sick. After dinner, they went home. But on the way home, they took the time to get a tattoo as a sign of their friendship. Of the many tattoo images, Juvita was interested in one image called Hakuna Matata, which means that everything will be fine. After finishing the tattoos, they went straight home. The next day after finishing work, Andre asked Juvita to go home together. At this moment, Andre invited Juvita to come to his birthday party which will be held at a club. Juvita was very happy to accept the invitation and she promised to come to Andre's birthday party. After that, Juvita asked to be dropped off somewhere on the grounds and said that she was going to a friend's apartment. While in fact, she wanted to visit her father who was treated in a psychiatric hospital. Juvita kept this a secret from everyone except Yara, because she didn't want people to know about her family's condition. After Juvita left, apparently her diary was left in Andre's car and he also had time to see the contents of that book. Juvita arrived at the hospital and her father's condition was very alarming. It was discovered that after Juvita's mother died, Juvita's father was stressed and he was mentally ill. Then, Juvita took her father to the psychiatric hospital for treatment, hoping that her father would get well soon. Currently, Juvita's father no longer recognizes Juvita and thinks that she was his wife. Even though her father was currently ill, Juvita still loved him and she always worked hard to pay for her father's medication. At this moment, Juvita told her father that she was now a singer. Even though Juvita only became a ghost singer, she was happy because her dream of becoming a singer had been achieved. And after that, Juvita confidently told her father that she was close to her boss at the office. Juvita asked her father's blessing so that Andre could be her soulmate. After visiting her father, Juvita then returned home. The next morning, Juvita received a gift from Andre. It was a dress that Juvita would use to attend Andre's birthday party. Again, Juvita told Yara that her feelings said that Andre liked her. And in the evening, Juvita came to Andre's birthday party wearing the dress given by Andre. Here, Juvita invited Yara to attend the party. With great pleasure, Juvita immediately approached Andre and sat down next to him while giving him birthday wishes. After that, Andre's older brother, Richard, asked Juvita to take off her coat. Innocently, Juvita took off her coat. But that would only show her fat body because the dress she was wearing was too tight. Not long after that, the situation became chaotic when Eva came wearing the same dress as Juvita. When Andre gave the dress to Juvita, Eva's assistant found out about it. Then, Eva deliberately bought the same dress and she wore it to insult Juvita. Eva felt prettier than Juvita and she was the one who deserved to wear that dress. Eva's attitude hurt Juvita, so she immediately left the club. Andre didn't like when Juvita was humiliated in front of other people, then he rebuked Eva. But here, Eva actually thought it was just a joke because she hated Juvita who tried to get close to Andre. Hearing this, Andre became very angry and he told Eva that it was Juvita who had helped him until now. Without Juvita, Eva was nobody. Juvita has talent and also a good voice, it's just that she's not pretty and her body was overweight. If only Juvita was beautiful and had an ideal body, surely she would become a famous singer. Unfortunately, their debate was overheard by Juvita and she misinterpreted Andre's words, which at that time Andre was defending Juvita in front of Eva. Juvita thought that she was just an ugly and big woman, unlike Eva, who has a beautiful face and has an ideal body. Because of Andre's words, Juvita intended to end her life by taking a large amount of sedatives. But when she was about to do that, suddenly there was a call from the Lonely Man application and connected to Juvita's client who is a doctor and he wanted to invite Juvita to talk. Well, this was where Juvita got an idea regarding her problem and she made no intention of ending her life. The next day, Juvita went to an aesthetic clinic to change her appearance. At that time, she consulted with a plastic surgeon, Dr. Eric. The doctor told Juvita that plastic surgery costs a lot. Juvita realized that she didn't have much money, but she tried to negotiate so that the payment could be paid in installments. Unfortunately, the doctor refused and kicked Juvita out of the clinic. But Juvita, who had the ambition to change her appearance, then showed the recording of Dr. Eric's voice seducing her through the Lonely Man application. The doctor was one of the clients who always contacted Marver to be with him every night. Dr. Eric was immediately shocked when he found out that Marver was a fat woman who was currently in front of him. With a little threat, Juvita asked for help again from Dr. Eric so that she can change her appearance to be more beautiful and have an ideal body. And finally, with a heavy heart, Dr. Eric agreed to change Juvita's appearance. After that, Juvita went to see her father to say goodbye because for the next few months, she couldn't visit him. A few days later, it was time for Juvita to have plastic surgery and liposuction. After she underwent the operation, no one knew about it, she just disappeared without telling anyone. Of course, this made Andre frustrated, because he needed Juvita's voice to boost Eva's popularity. As a result, all of Eva's shows were cancelled. The recording of Eva's album had to be postponed until they found someone who sounded similar to Juvita. Eva was annoyed because the recording of her album was postponed, then she was looking for Juvita and came to her apartment. But Juvita was not there. Eva even found a file showing the place where Juvita's father was being treated. It crossed Eva's mind to ask for information from Juvita's father. Eva also thought that it was likely that Juvita would visit her father in the hospital. After that, Eva invited Andre to go to the hospital where Juvita's father was. With hope, Juvita's father could tell where Juvita was currently. When they arrived at the hospital, it was seen that Juvita's father couldn't cooperate well because he had a mental disorder. Because they didn't get information about Juvita's whereabouts, they immediately left. A few months later, Juvita's plastic surgery went well and the results were extraordinary. Juvita managed to turn herself into a beautiful woman and had an ideal body. Juvita felt like a dream, but now she was more confident with her new appearance. One day, Juvita went to the mall after a few months in the hospital until she recovered from the surgery. At that time, Juvita accidentally met Andre and Eva. There, Eva was selling pants because she had never appeared as a singer anymore. Juvita just watched them from a distance. After a few months disappeared, finally Juvita met Yara again at the police station. Previously, she experienced an incident on the road where she crashed into a taxi and then she was checked further because her face was different from the photo on her driver's license. That's why, Yara was called to justify this matter. At first, Yara didn't recognize Juvita, because all she knew was that Juvita had a big body. But in the end, Yara believed that the girl in front of her was Juvita because she saw the tattoo on Juvita's waist. And after that, they went to a restaurant for dinner. At the restaurant, Yara told Juvita that the release of Eva's album had to be postponed because they had not found someone who had a similar voice to Juvita. Hearing that, Juvita was planning to audition as Eva's shadow singer and she could get close to Andre again. But she wanted to use a different identity, so people wouldn't know that she's actually Juvita. Not long after, Yara's boyfriend, Risky, came to meet Yara. But when Yara was going to introduce Juvita to her boyfriend, she immediately changed Juvita's name to Angel. And from here, Juvita finally played a new character named Angel. Risky was a slimming product salesman. He always forced Yara to buy and consume the product he offered. Yara loved her boyfriend so much that she never refused when Risky asked her to buy the slimming product. When Risky was receiving a call, Juvita tried to forbid Yara to take the slimming product because for her, Yara's body was ideal and she didn't need to take that product. And then Juvita also told Yara that in the slimming product, there may be harmful ingredients. Hearing that, Yara could only answer slowly. She was forced to take the slimming product because Risky always said that Yara looked fat. The next day, Juvita auditioned to become Eva's shadow singer, but here, she changed her identity to Angelica. Then, Juvita began to show her ability to sing, and who would have thought that she had passed the audition and officially joined the company as Angelica. Angelica's beauty and her golden voice made Andre and Richard want to launch her as a newcomer singer, no longer as Eva's ghost singer. Then, they both tried to negotiate with their father, who was the owner of the company, to appoint Angelica as a newcomer singer. At first, their father didn't agree with the idea, because their father thought that only Eva had the potential to be a beautiful and sexy singer and loved by many people. Meanwhile, Angel was only a ghost singer for Eva. However, Andre and Richard kept trying to convince their father that Angel had her own charm that everyone would like. After seeing their efforts to promote Angel, finally their father agreed, and here, Juvita made her first single and also the video clip. Then, the first song started to be launched and everyone can enjoy it. After Juvita's first song was released, in a short time the song was in first position on the best songs charts in Indonesia. This made Eva feel that she had a rival, so she kept trying to find Juvita at the hospital, hoping that Juvita's father would tell Juvita's whereabouts. At the hospital, Eva called Andre and said that she would keep trying to find Juvita so that her second album could be released as soon as possible. But Andre was angry and told Eva to practice vocals so she wouldn't depend on other people's voices. Andre's response made Eva annoyed. While screaming, she vented her frustration. On the other hand, Juvita's father suddenly appeared and gave advice which made Eva speechless after hearing that advice. One time, Juvita recorded her second song, but at that time, her performance wasn't optimal. Then, Andre showed a video. It was the video when Juvita auditioned for the first time to become a ghost singer for Eva. But at this moment, Andre still didn't realize that Angelica is Juvita. Here, Andre told Angelica to listen to Juvita's singing method, which was full of emotion, so that the song felt good to be heard. It's different when Andre heard Angelica sing, which was just not really serious. Then, Juvita tried to ask Andre if she should sing like a fat woman in the video. Hearing this, of course, Andre immediately reprimanded Angelica, because for Andre, Juvita was a special person for him. From that statement, Juvita immediately became silent and moved. She just found out that Andre thought she was special, even though her body was overweight and not beautiful. Juvita felt sorry because she lied and changed her identity to Angelica. It crossed her mind to end this disguise and admit who she really was to Andre. That morning, Juvita asked for Yara's opinion. But here, Yara told Juvita that not all men want to accept a woman who has had plastic surgery. Yara's words offended Juvita and there was a debate between them. Then, Juvita told Yara that her boyfriend was only using her to buy the slimming products he was selling. Juvita then asked Yara to stop using those slimming products because it could be harmful for Yara's health. Yara didn't like Juvita's words. While crying, Yara immediately left. Yara's statement that not all men like women who have had plastic surgery turned out to be true. When Juvita met Andre, she didn't tell him about her true identity because previously, she asked for Andre's opinions about a woman who changed herself with plastic surgery, and Andre's answer made her sad because Andre likes natural women without plastic surgery. This is what made Juvita not brave enough to tell everything. The next day when Juvita was in the office, she accidentally heard Eva practicing vocals in the studio. Juvita approached Eva and they talked, in which Eva said that she would get rid of Angelica from the music industry. Hearing this, Juvita conveyed an advice which is the same as her father said. Because of the advice Angelica gave, Eva got a clue about Juvita's current whereabouts. The next day, Juvita received news that Yara was hospitalized due to an overdose of slimming products. And that same day was the first day Juvita appeared live on television, but Juvita chose to visit her best friend at the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor informed Juvita that Yara had nearly died from consuming the slimming product. Then, the doctor asked Yara to stop taking the product so that something like this would not happen again. It was the deep sadness that Juvita felt when she saw her best friend sick, and this was because Yara's boyfriend used Yara to buy the slimming products. It turned out that at that time, Risky came to visit Yara. Juvita took out her anger on Risky for forcing Yara to buy the products he was selling. Then, Juvita threatened Risky to stay away from Yara and never offer the slimming products again because Yara could be killed for taking it. Risky was silent when Juvita scolded him, but because of that incident, Juvita and Yara's friendship got better. After making sure that her best friend was okay, Juvita then returned to the studio because she was going to appear on television for the first time. At this first appearance, Juvita made it through perfectly. Everyone enjoyed the song performed by Juvita, and people already knew Angelica as a newcomer singer. Her success was then celebrated with Andre. At this moment, it could be seen that Andre has started to like Angel, and until now, she has not revealed who she really is. When Andre was called by his father, Juvita waited alone while drawing a tattoo mark on her waist. Then, she started to get sleepy and fell asleep on the sofa. Well, this is where Andre finally found out who Angelica really is after he saw Angelica's drawing and he remembered the same picture in Juvita's diary. A few days later, Richard and Andre throw a celebration party for the success of Angelica's first album, but here, Andre looked ignorant because he already felt lied to by Juvita. After that, Eva came with someone who claimed to be Angelica's big fan. Of course, this made Juvita surprised because at that time, Eva actually brought Juvita's father. There, Juvita was speechless and she didn't want to approach her father. She even pretended not to recognize her own father. Of course, Juvita's attitude made Yara angry. And then she took Juvita's father away from there. After the incident, Juvita came to see Andre to reveal her true self, but here, Andre already knew who Angelica really was. Hearing Andre's words, Juvita apologized while giving reasons why she changed herself. While crying, Juvita said that she changed herself because of Andre's words when he talked with Eva. At that time, Andre said that if only Juvita was beautiful and had an ideal body, then she would be the singer. And because of his words, Juvita felt hurt and she was already tired of getting mocked by everyone because of her overweight body. Juvita realized what she was doing was wrong, but she did this solely to change her life for the better than before. Andre, who heard Juvita's confession, felt guilty and he tried to calm down Juvita, because she had to prepare her condition to perform at her first concert. After confessing her emotions, Juvita left there to rest because tomorrow, she will perform at her first concert. The next day, this was the moment where Angelica's character ends. When Juvita started singing, suddenly her father came with Eva and he got on stage to join in the dance. Then, when Richard wanted to pull Juvita's father, Juvita suddenly stopped the concert and allowed her father to stay on the stage. And after that, Juvita took advantage of this moment to apologize to all her fans and she revealed her true identity. Calmly, Juvita began to tell about her life journey that used to have an overweight body and became the object of everyone's mockery. Even though Juvita was treated like that, she still pursued her dream of becoming a singer, which at first she became a ghost singer. Then, Juvita also introduced her father who was currently ill after her mother died. Because of Juvita's confession, it made everyone touched, and in the end they all gave support for Juvita to become a successful singer. Time passed, and now Juvita has succeeded in achieving her dream of becoming a singer. Not only that, Juvita was also in a relationship with Andre. On the other hand, Eva was no longer a singer and she has switched professions to become a YouTuber and create some content to become a beggar. But unfortunately, she was caught by the municipal police and after that, the film ended.